Hey guys, Mr. Happy here. Today I have another video for Final Fantasy XIV. Got a lot of stuff to talk about and gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about for the next few weeks since they're doing the 1 year anniversary event. And part of the 1 year anniversary event is going to be the Live Letter 17, which is going to be coming to us Friday, August 22nd at midnight EST or 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It says the broadcast schedule is subject to change, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, unlike a lot of the other live letters, the theme is just Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. It's literally just ask whatever question you want and they'll answer whatever they can get to. There's no specific theme for 2.4, although I'm sure they have some stuff to tease us like they did last time. It also says that members of the dev team will make an appearance to talk about the various things in the game, as well as answer burning questions from our players. Who will the secret guest be that will be revealed in the show? Who knows, but I'm sure we're going to get some crazy stuff considering it is the 1 year anniversary. I'm sure they want to save some stuff for the fan festival, but regardless. So, because we were able to ask any question that we wanted, I, like I do for every live letter, just asked a bunch of questions, and I'm going to share those questions with you guys right now. Alright, so my first question was, and this one got upvoted quite a bit, is what is the ETA on the add-on system? Now, I know that we're not going to have a super crazy amount of add-ons, probably because of the differences between the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PC version. It's probably going to be reduced to UI elements being changed, such as being able to display your party members' TP. However, we've had the add-on system at the quote-unquote 6 months after launch area for a long time now, and to be honest, I just want some sort of confirmation that it's still on the horizon somewhere, even if not until the expansion. Speaking of things to be released before the expansion, my second question was, is the Gold Saucer still on schedule for release before the expansion? This was upvoted a lot too, and that's because while they've given us some rough estimates and they've started giving us some artwork, they've given us artwork for things before that haven't come to fruition anytime soon. I know the last time they were asked about this, they were saying it could be between like 2.38 and 2.45 or something along those lines, but those were really vague, and those were more like, yeah, well, we're trying to aim for this and whatnot. So I just want to know if it's still something we can expect before the expansion or if it's been pushed into the expansion. Now, this next question is more along the lines of wondering what the design choice was here. And this is a question I'm sure they've seen a million times, so I don't even know why I asked it again. But this was so far my most upvoted question. Why are Oils of Time part of the Circus Tower restriction when the hunt allows for quote-unquote infinite retrieval of them? Infinite meaning if you get the seals, you can get as many of them as you want. And I understand that soldiery gear is capped by how much soldiery you can actually obtain. But people who have been playing since 2.2 have full soldiery gear for at least one job, and it's not difficult to get an accessory or even another piece of armor or a weapon for your other jobs by just saving up your soldiery for a few weeks. So I'm just curious as to why there was a design choice here, because it's causing a lot of loot in the Circus Tower to just hit the ground because people are waiting for that Oil of Time at the end. Now, my next two questions are about the Relic Weapon. My first one is actually, are there any scheduled changes to the Atmas in patch 2.4 or beyond? Now, I'm already expecting that there is, but I also know that the Animus and Novus sections are going to be heavily toned down just based on the way they're obtained right now. I mean, anything that's obtained via mythology at this point, if soldiery gets pushed back and mythology is removed from the game and they add a new tombstone, soldiery becomes uncapped, then you would have to imagine that the amount of soldiery tombstones in order to obtain these would be far lower than the amount of mythology tombstones that are required now. Similar to how the Relic Weapon used to cost 900 philosophy back when the game first came out. And then when philosophy was removed from the game and it was turned into mythology, it only cost 225. So I would expect the books would only be like 300 something soldiery, and each of the Novus maps would only be like 200 something soldiery, and that would be a lot simpler to complete those steps. So I just want to know a little bit more about the Atma step. And my second question about the Relic Weapons was, what is the next scheduled upgrade for the Relic Weapons? And how would you compare to the step previous to this one? And I'm just curious about this. I don't think it's any secret that the Relic Weapon upgrades are meant to be the grindier alternatives to some of the other weapons in the game. And I'm just curious how they would compare it, not effort-wise, but exactly what we'll be doing. How it was books and now it's Alexandrite, and before that it was the Atmas, you know. I'm just curious of what is the next step. And are we approaching that final step? I'd imagine by 2.5 we'll have the final step of our Relic Weapons, but we'll just have to wait and see. And now the next three questions are really just random questions, and I've asked this one question I think in the two prior live letters, and I'm still waiting for an answer for it. Have you considered adding ranked teams for the Wolves Den for more competitive PvP players? I know they can add rankings to the lodestone, but that's not what I'm talking about. First of all, those are based on individual players and not really focused around team play, which is what I'm looking for in the Wolves Den. When I think of arena-based combat, I do think of rankings, not just casual combat, you know what I mean? And, they are probably not going to answer this question, not because it's not something that they're thinking about, but because of all the questions that I asked, this one got a single upvote, while most others received double-digit upvotes. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to answer this one. Now, the next question is, how successful would you say Savage Coil has been so far? And are you considering implementing a Savage difficulty for other pieces of content? They have officially commented that they may add a Savage First Coil at the same time where they separate the lockouts for Savage Coil and regular Coil. But we'll just have to really wait and see on this one. I don't necessarily want them to just keep releasing higher difficulties of old fights. I understand that the community is very much against the recycling and rehashing of bosses, even if the boss fights are handled completely differently. Let's be honest, we can only look at the same boss so many times before we're like, all right, listen, we get it, all right? He's cool and all, but I fought him enough. I get it. I don't need to do this anymore. I'm just curious if it's anywhere on their rap sheet of what they're planning to do. And my last question is, because no matter how many times I say my opinion on it, I can't seem to escape this question. Do you have any official word for what the main statistic will be for Ninja? Like, I am almost positive it is strength. I'm like 99% sure it is strength because of the way strength works in this game. I am damn well sure it's not intelligence just because of the few ninjutsu skills, and I'm almost positive it's not dexterity because of the way the stats are defined in this game. Now, that's not to say they couldn't give ninjas some sort of ability that makes that dexterity affect their melee damage. That is entirely possible. And there was some data mining done, and people have been talking about how ninjas are looking to have enhanced dexterity. Some sort of traits were added to the game that look like ninja traits and rogue traits, poisons and dexterity increases, but I would like to see some official word on, is it strength, dexterity? That's it. Those are the only two. It's not going to be. Or maybe they'll add agility to the game. Who the hell knows? But I just want some official word on it, because the last time they spoke, they said, save up your melee gear, but that quote was taken back, and they said, we haven't actually officially decided what the stat will be. That means they're considering it. They might be considering dexterity just to even out, I guess, the way of loot, because that's a lot of people rolling on strength loot. But anyway, guys, go ask your questions on the forums. Ask whatever the hell you want. It's going to be a late at night one, so actually for people on the West Coast, this seems like a pretty good time for a live letter to be, as opposed to 5 in the morning like it usually is. I'll be up for it. I know that, so that'll be a late night for me. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about these questions? And be sure, like I said, to go ask your own questions. I included the forums in the description below. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share for more Final Fantasy XIV information, news, guides, whatever. And until next time, guys, take care.